What's good? We are here. So, don't even really know where to start, but I guess I'll just go. So, Josh Reed here again. Welcome to Agent Talk. And it's Wednesday, so maybe you ain't been here before, but it's Wise Words Wednesday. Another thing, I spoke on this last week, definitely trying to build a more consistent routine of getting these episodes out here, especially just because I think we live in a world that knowledge is increasing, but wisdom is deteriorating. I think even just to start, we need to understand what the difference between what knowledge is and what wisdom is. Knowledge is simply just to know things. You can be knowledgeable in sports. You can know statistics. You can know certain things that are going on in the world, certain things that have gone on in history. Wisdom, however, truly, according to the word, wisdom begins with the reverence of the Lord. Wisdom keeps you out of trouble. Wisdom helps you to move in a manner that is productive for your future. Wisdom prevents you from stumbling, from hitting certain obstacles that you would not, or that you would have encountered without it. Just a tangible thing. Like for me, knowledge is knowing what sex is. Wisdom is saying, like my wife told me, we're gonna wait until marriage to get into this. And in doing that, it grew me. It prevented us from walking into certain troubles that would have occurred if we had not done or made the decision that, quite frankly, she made for us. So just an example. Today's wise words. So one thing that I've been doing is going through a proverb a day. So there are 31 proverbs, and in most months you have 31 days. So very easy, something that allows me to start my day, start my morning with wisdom. A little background, Proverbs was written by, most of them at least, was written by Solomon. Solomon was a man who God had basically asked him, what is it that you want in life? And he didn't pray for riches, he didn't pray for honor, but he prayed for wisdom. This was King David's son, and he prayed for wisdom. And we read here, according to the word, Solomon was the wisest man that ever lived. And so I take what he says, for how he says it. For a while I've been trying to come up with certain things to put out that have kind of been on my own whim, but I realize, if we have a man here that we have access to his wisdom, Bible says he was the wisest man that ever lived. Why not just read what he has to say for himself? So today is May 27th. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but just a small excerpt. I believe that Proverbs gives a lot of what I consider tangibles. Tangibles are things in the scriptures that do not go over our heads, but are really just as clear as day. Something that we can hold on to. That's why I call it a tangible, something that you can physically, maybe not physically, but you can hold on to it and carry it with you throughout the day, throughout the year, throughout your life. Truly, Proverbs is a book that honestly, even if you're not a believer, one, I encourage you to read the rest of the Bible so you can understand why you should be. But more so, even if you don't believe in, the Lord and Savior, there's just still so much fruit that can, again, like I said, prevent you from stumbling in your life. So just one real quick, we see here, this is 27:19. As in water, face reflects face, so a man's heart reveals the man. I'll read one more time. As in water, face reflects face, so a man's heart reveals a man. That's from the New King James Version. So what is he saying? So we'll start. As in water, face reflects face. Okay, very straightforward. If you look at water, so if you go to a lake, a pond, if it ain't murky, but you look down and clear water, what are you gonna see? You're gonna see your face. Water reflects what is looking at it. Okay, very simple. So just like that, he's saying, so a man's heart reveals the man. I think that's critical. We can try to build ourselves up as if we are this person or that person, try to do all these good works, things of that nature. But we see here, as your heart is, that's how you are. If your heart, you cannot be I don't think any of us are pure, but you cannot be living for a pure life if your heart is not pure. A man whose heart is hardened is hardened. Like how your heart is, so are you. In Luke, it tells us, so because a lot of people, we make, oh, my heart is this, can be something that's left up to your own interpretation. But we see in Luke, out of the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks. I think this is Luke, I actually just looked up, Luke chapter 6, I believe. So out of the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks. Okay, so now let's unpack this a little bit. So as you speak, what you speak comes out of the overflow of your heart. And as your heart is, that's who you are. So an example, a man who speaks with a lot of pride, there's a lot of proud words, a lot of boastful words, a lot of egotistical words, a lot of narcissistic words. I've done this, I've accomplished this, I'm gonna do this, whatever it could be. Those are the words he's speaking that speaks to his heart. He has a proud heart. He has a heart that he has lifted up above truly what he is. If you have an individual that the words they speak are full of fear, who living in this time with this coronavirus, if you are speaking fear, I'm afraid to go outside. Don't go there because of X, Y, Z. I'm fearful that this will happen. In your heart, you have fear. You're full of fear. If you say something to your spouse, whatever it could be, something maybe that you want to retract back, whatever it is that you are speaking, that tells you the current condition of your heart. Someone that speaks a bunch of disappointments, their heart is disappointed. Someone that speaks of having anxiety, their heart is anxious. Someone that speaks words of love, words of affirmation, of confirmation to other individuals, their heart is full of love. You cannot be an individual that claims to have a heart of love, but yet the words that you speak to your spouse, the words that you speak to your friends, the words that you speak to your players, to your coaches, to your students, to your teachers, you cannot have a heart of love if the words that you are speaking to them do not mirror words of love. And I think that's critical for us because we live in a time where a lot of people, in my opinion, are not able to really reflect back on the condition of their heart. A lot of people, if you ask them, what's your heart like right now? I'm like, oh, my heart's good. I got a lot of love. I'm rooting for other people, things of that nature. But yet you hear them in conversation and they're tearing down people. That's one thing I've realized is take a look around you. Maybe it's yourself. Individuals that gossip a lot about other people, that try to, even if it's quote unquote accidental or unintentional, if you are speaking words that bring other people's value down, that tells you the condition of your heart. You have a hateful heart. You have a jealous heart, an envious heart. Despite what you might say, your words disagree. And if we bring that back out of the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks. You bring that back to here. Where's that? So a man's heart reveals the man. So I just encourage people today, let's take some time to really unpack the heart. That's one thing I was talking with the guys on Bible study with is, especially as men, we don't take enough time to really sit back, really reflect about the conditions of our heart. A lot of us are living in an age where our heart has become hardened due to racial tensions, due to the coronavirus, due to systematic oppression, due to the state of the White House. We have allowed our hearts to become hardened due to these exterior forces. And now we take that out on our neighbor. We take that out on the lady at the cash register. We take that out on other individuals in traffic. We take that out on the kids, on our pet. You name it, on our employees, on our employer. And again, I think it's critical. Today, my one word of encouragement would be, let's take some time to really see what is our heart revealing about ourselves. What are the words that we are speaking revealing about the state of our heart? And that'll just kind of be, I guess, my one tip. That's really all I got. So Joshua Grady here. Definitely, want to make sure I'm doing more of a rhythm of these, just getting some things out. Really gotten to the point where I don't care how many views we get, don't care how many likes it get. Maybe this one episode can just encourage one individual to sit back and take a look at the state of their heart. It's a dub. So that's all I got. Joshua Grady here. Follow us on Instagram at Agent Talk. Building up the YouTube platform. I'm actually going to start our own YouTube for Agent Talk. So be on the lookout for that coming. If you're listening to us on the streaming platforms, I appreciate every listening. Please subscribe on somewhere, share it out with a friend, whatever it might be. And aside from that, I'm out.